I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw.
On the outside, and that's going to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming,
The boxing world is buzzing with explosive news. Floyd Money Mayweather has reportedly taken Lamont Roach under his wing ahead of the highly anticipated Tank Davis rematch. With Mayweather's legendary defensive genius and fight IQ now in Roach's corner, this could completely change the dynamics of their second showdown. Sources close to the camp reveal Mayweather is personally drilling Roach on elite-level footwork, counterpunching techniques, and psychological warfare tactics, the same weapons that made Mayweather untouchable during his 50-0 career. Recent training footage of Roach has sent shockwaves through the boxing community. The challenger's movements now carry distinct Mayweather-esque qualities: laser-sharp jab and grab techniques, shoulder-roll defensive positioning, and those signature pull-counter right hands. "Lamont's transforming before our eyes," observed one veteran trainer. "His punches are snapping with new precision, and his footwork looks 3 steps ahead of where he was last camp. This isn't just improvement, it's a complete technical evolution." Roach's motivation has reached fever pitch. "I won't leave it to the judges this time," he vowed in a recent session. The controversial draw has become fuel for the 28-year-old, who's pushing his body to new limits with Mayweather's team. Insiders report grueling two-a-days where Roach works Mayweather's famous 30-minute defense drills before intense sparring sessions. This isn't just preparation, it's a crusade for validation.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound-for-pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
The Mayweather connection adds delicious drama to this rematch. After mentoring Tank Davis to stardom, Mayweather now appears to be passing the torch to his former protégé's rival. Floyd sees himself in Lamont, the underestimated technician who has to prove himself against bigger names, revealed a camp insider. This teacher versus student subplot gives the rematch Shakespearean levels of intrigue.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming. Like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on and on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud of.
Tensions between Mayweather and Davis have been simmering for years, with Money May frequently taking credit for Tank's success. "I built that boy," Mayweather has said publicly, much to Davis's frustration. Now, by training Roach, Mayweather isn't just helping a new fighter, he's sending a clear message about where his loyalties lie. This personal dimension transforms the rematch from a boxing match to a grudge match with historical implications.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team, because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a.
This isn't Mayweather's first time playing chess with Tank's career. He previously coached Frank Martin before Martin's bout against Davis, proving he's willing to share his intimate knowledge of Tank's weaknesses. With Mayweather in his corner, Roach gains access to the ultimate Tank Davis playbook, every habit, every tell, every vulnerability the champion has shown behind closed doors at Mayweather's gym.
He loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting, and has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when, cause 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent's sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heed to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something. You know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it. I thought they hear the.
You know, he the one told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't gonna be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to be with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
The Mayweather effect is already visible in Roach's new style. Gone is the straightforward pressure fighter, in his place stands a calculated tactician using shoulder rolls, pull counters, and those infamous Mayweather clinches. But not everyone's convinced. Defense wins rounds, but knockout power wins fights, argued one skeptical analyst. Can Roach really out Mayweather, a guy who trained under Mayweather for years? The answer could redefine modern boxing strategy.
You train 6 weeks before the fight, and Floyd Mayweather messed these boxers up thinking that they can only train 6 weeks before the fight and then they'll be good. Y'all remember when Floyd said that? Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. And all these fighters adapted to that. Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. Only one that haven't adapted to it, I have to give them props where props is due, is Terrence Crawford.
Roach is leaving no stone unturned, seeking sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis to simulate Tank's explosive style. Boots gives me that same terrifying speed and power combination, Roach explained. This next-level preparation shows Roach isn't just hoping to win, he's engineering victory through strategic matchups, something he likely learned from his new mentor Mayweather.
Is it true? You did want to see him get some work with Boots? I saw in the interview. Yeah, I'm gonna call Boots. You gonna call him? I'm gonna call him. What? They say they what? They say that. Shit, that's right up the road. That's right up the road. Look, obviously, Tank cracking. Oops, cracking. Why not?
Let them keep underestimating me, Roach smirked during a recent media workout. The challenger's confidence is reaching new heights, with Mayweather's guidance clearly affecting his mental game as much as his physical skills. People will see a different Lamont Roach on fight night, one they never expected. This quiet assurance, rather than loud trash talk, carries distinct Mayweather vibes.
But came to fight, was a very competitive fight, good fight. Yeah, you wore him down, I remember it very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is, you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Roach's training regimen has become the stuff of legend, 5 a.m. roadwork followed by technical drills, film study sessions breaking down Tank's every fight, and brutal sparring against elite partners. We're not just preparing to fight Tank Davis, Roach revealed. We're preparing to shock the world. With Mayweather's wisdom now part of his arsenal, that shock might just become reality.
30 people, knocked out what, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. He probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much. I got too much for me to go out like that. I'm not saying he don't, but I can't. Like, if anything, I'm trying to flip it around. I'm trying to make it flip the narrative. Like, I'm the one in there.
Even Tank Davis's inner circle is raising eyebrows. Jeff Mayweather, longtime Davis supporter and uncle of Floyd, dropped a bombshell after reviewing the first fight. The numbers don't lie, Roach landed more and threw more. His startling admission reveals just how far Roach pushed the previously untouchable Davis. Tank didn't look like himself that night, Jeff confessed, suggesting the judges may have gifted Davis a lifeline with the controversial draw decision.
This is what I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. Thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do, and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him the same way.
I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight, actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly, valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go. And that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes him. He always finishes opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
Boxing analyst Sauce Walker isn't mincing words. Roach schooled Tank, period. The outspoken commentator argues that true boxing purists recognize Roach's masterclass in controlled aggression and ring generalship. This wasn't some lucky performance. Roach exposed fundamental flaws in Tank's game that casual fans don't understand, Walker insisted, pointing to Roach's ability to disrupt Davis's rhythm and counter his power shots with precision.
Do you think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like, when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Showbiz The Adult spotlighted a telling moment that's become fight folklore, Davis's unusual retreat to his corner after the phantom knockdown. Champions don't do that, Showbiz emphasized. That was survival instinct kicking in, not a tactical move. His analysis suggests the moment revealed more about Davis's mental state than any post-fight excuses ever could.
Explain to me how the hell that wasn't a knockdown. That was a knockdown, period. He took a knee for the break. That's a knockdown. You can't pump fake a knockdown. Everybody would be pump faking knockdowns. Y'all gonna be like, Tank was smart for that. You can't take a knee, pump fake a knockdown, and then walk to your corner in the middle of the round and scream for a towel, and they wipe you down, and there's gonna be y'all saying some disgusting shit. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Tank can do what he wants, cause Tank, yo, hey, listen, we ain't got that kind of time, dog. You can't do that, bro. If any part of your body other than your feet touch the canvas following a landed shot, is a knockdown. Who is fixing the fights now? Oh, shit.
If Devin your God, y'all gotta pay me now. I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him.
Who is fixing the fights now?
Team Davis is playing it cool publicly, but their camp whispers tell a different story. While coach Kenny Ellis maintains they're sticking to the original blueprint, insiders report grueling sparring sessions against taller, longer fighters to solve the Roach puzzle. Their confidence seems less about ignoring the first fight struggles and more about believing in Tank's ability to make in-fight adjustments when the lights are brightest.
Shit, I mean, is he a boxer? Do we even need Tank to be 100% to beat Jake Paul?
I mean, I would say be 100% because of his size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does. Yeah. That does make sense.
And Jake Paul is getting better with time. You know, compared to when he first started. He definitely he learned it. A lot of guys ain't had no amateur fights. They turned pro and they learned on the job, and that's exactly what Jake doing. You know, especially in the heavyweight division.
Do you think Jake Paul has enough size and power to stop Tank?
The first fight wasn't just close, it was a career inflection point for Davis. Never before had the knockout artist looked so human, so vulnerable to disciplined pressure. The rematch now becomes the ultimate test. Can Tank evolve, or is Roach's style his kryptonite? Boxing historians are already drawing parallels to classic rivalries where one fighter simply had another's number.
Fight that, we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair band in his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be, the fight is over.
Roach isn't just confident, he's borderline arrogant about his secret sauce. "What I do can't be replicated," he boasted, referencing his unique blend of measured aggression and defensive responsibility. The challenger believes he's cracked the Tank Davis code with a formula that combines patience, precision punching, and psychological warfare, a trifecta most opponents can't sustain against Davis's power.
You've now shown the world the formula to how to beat Tank Davis?
Maybe not. I mean, I'm me. I don't think a lot of guys possess the same skills that I have. If they go in there and try to fight like me, they might not.
Kenny Ellis fired back with a reality check. Training camp highlights don't win fights. The veteran trainer respects Roach's preparation but questions whether his fighter can handle the moment when Tank starts landing those trademark body shots in Vegas. "Everyone's a killer on pads," Ellis smirked. "We'll see who's still standing in round 10.
So, without the knee, you have it 7-5 Tank winning it. How does Tank feel after the loss? I mean, the draw.
I mean,
it seemed like he seemed like he took it well when he had the mic.
I went to the press with Tank. I mean, we didn't discuss it. I ain't talked to him yet.
Okay. Looking at all the fighters talk about the knee, does that surprise you?
Well, you got haters with everything he do. They just got Tank haters. But fighters been taking knees through the history of boxing, you know? So people want to talk. People want to talk.
So you believe that this was an honest mistake when it came down to Tank taking that knee, or do you feel like this is something that happens in boxing?
It wasn't illegal, so I ain't gonna say it was a mistake.
That's why I asked you that exact way. Like, do you feel like it was a mistake, or do you feel like no, this is a veteran move? This is stuff that happens in boxing.
It happens in boxing. It happens in boxing. You know, it wasn't illegal.
That's a wrap on today's deep dive into boxing's hottest grudge match. Will Mayweather's guidance propel Roach to victory? Can Tank prove the first fight was just an off night? The answers come June 21st. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our round-by-round breakdown of what promises to be an instant classic. Until then, keep debating who's your money on.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.